you, Senator Cotton. Senator Kelly, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. General Cotton, General Whiting, thank you for being here. I want to first touch on Golden Dome, and then I want to save some time for Slickum. And agree, nuclear deterrence keeps us safe. And General Cotton, you mentioned two nuclear peers. One of my biggest concerns is the third one, which is the DPRK. And I think it's fair to say that most of the time, with our nuclear peers, we're dealing with rational actors. We hope that's the case. That's the thing that part of nuclear deterrence, that they will act rationally. Not so sure that's the case with the DPRK. And they are building more nuclear weapons. They're working on other systems to deliver them. And they can now range into the United States. I believe that's our view as a nation. So can you talk a little bit about Golden Dome? And my concern with this is it could potentially, even though I am not against the idea of a system that can protect the entire United States from incoming ballistic missiles, nuclear armed. At the same time, this could accelerate a growing number. Our adversaries' response to having a missile defense system could be to build more nuclear weapons. And if one or two get through, that is too many. Right now, we do have a defensive system to protect us from a rogue actor in launching one ICBM. And my understanding is, and if you could share a little bit, General Cotton, about how effective that system is with the interceptors we have in Alaska and in California. So could you provide an estimate of how much this would cost and what enhanced capability we would get out of this? And do you feel we can build a system that is not penetrable?
Well, thank you, Senator Kelly. I don't want to get out of my lane because Northcom, General Guillot is the one that's undertaking that role. My responsibility from Golden Dome is twofold in accordance to the EO. And mine is to make sure that I can assure that a second strike capability for the United States remains. And how do we ensure that? As far as the reliability of the ground-based interceptors piece, once again, that I don't own that platform. That platform belongs to Northcom, and that's probably best for General Guillot to answer that. I do believe, and we heard my colleague talk about the layered approach that is kind of the essence of Golden Dome for America. I think that's the answer and the key on how that system can be deliverable moving forward.
All right, and thank you. Thank you, General. I do agree. I think it's something we need to look into, and we need to look at a cost benefit analysis of this and also consider how it would potentially change the nuclear deterrence posture of not only us, but China and Russia. On Slickum, and I know it was brought up here also, General, if one of my concerns here is one of the things that makes us stand out is our submarine force, especially the attack submarines are incredibly effective. To integrate a tactical nuclear missile into a Virginia-class sub would take modifications that are significant. And you'd have to put the security system that we have in effect for nuclear weapons. And my problem, I think, that I have with this is in the Western Pacific, this is a capability. Our attack submarine force is incredibly capable. And I think this would be somewhat disruptive. I think that needs to be a consideration before we go down the road of significant modifications to these systems. If you could just comment briefly on that.
Well, Senator, I think from my perspective, a lot of those are TTPs that the Department of the Navy had, and I think they need to pull those out of the out of the cupboard and look to see what those TTPs were when we had TLAM ends. I don't know if it'd be disruptive, especially now that what we're seeing, especially in the Indo-PACOM theater, in regards to our allies and partners' ability of letting us have dual-use nuclear-capable things arrive on their shores. The fact that I can now have B-52s fly into Japan, where I didn't before, and on the Korean Peninsula. I think there's work to be done, but I think it can be accomplished.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair.